Destination Space at 10:25 this evening. Our coverage looking to continue now as SpaceX is looking to send a Falcon 9 rocket to the sky. Spectrum News 13's Greg Pallone joins now live from Cape Canaveral Air Force Station tonight. So Greg, do you finally think we're going to see the Starlink mission go up tonight?
Oh gosh, we hope so, Sharon. It's
kind of cloudy tonight.
A week, but you know, any launch.
They were supposed to launch it a week ago, and it was clear skies and beautiful. WDAN Space News is all set to go.
So we have just a few minutes to go. We want to show
you got a few big clouds off that direction, but
the Falcon 9 rocket beautifully lit up, and this
doesn't have the boosters on it though. You're not going to see the boosters land.
At the Cape Canaveral Air Force Station,
fire and then land.
The Canaveral River certainly kicking up, but hopefully everything is within parameters, and we won't have an issue there. And those dreaded upper level winds, which caused the first scrub last week. Hopefully we won't see any of that, and all of their equipment is monitoring that.
Supposed to be launching hundreds of these satellites. It's going to take maybe even thousands of launches to do it all.
Experimental one before, but this is actually going to be launching 60 satellites up to orbit. Excuse me, to be able to provide internet service for areas across the world that don't have internet service and really may never have internet service. We kind of get spoiled here in this country having pretty much coverage all across the United States, other industrialized countries having internet, but Elon Musk's vision, the CEO for SpaceX, to have this internet availability for these folks across the globe who need it, very much needed and very important. Eventually they'll have about 12,000 of these
12,000 of these things floating around in space, all the space junk
service. So that's certainly what we're looking for at this juncture.
And if they're launching 60 of them at a clip, that's a couple thousand launches just to get 60 of them up there at a clip.
Crystal night sky.
I don't know, do the math.
It's kind of cool with the wind blowing off the waterway, but everything looking good out at pad 40 right now, and hopefully we'll have a launch here in just a minute if needed. Just like last week's 2 attempts, there is a 90-minute window, so we could go up to midnight if the team does experience any issues perhaps throughout the count. But the launch team being all quiet, that means they're going through the steps, and everything seems to be a go as we speak. So the Falcon 9 was, of course, lowered for the last
There's
week.
no boosters on it, so that won't be land. We won't be able to see them fire and then land
but the Falcon 9, of course, now
back where it started.
As we're set here for hopefully a night launch here in May on the east coast of Florida. I'm going to step aside now as the commentary team takes us through the launch of a Falcon 9 rocket.
Yeah, it was a lot. The 1 week ago they were going to launch it last Thursday, then they put it off to Friday. They didn't launch it Friday. Then they put it off for a week, so now they're getting ready to launch it tonight, but there's some clouds off in that direction, so it won't be as nice as it was last week. But WDAN Space News tries. Just a shade under a minute to launch.
Stage 2, press for flight. Go for launch.
T-minus 30 seconds.
This is a very heavy load, 30,000 pounds, that's 15 tons.
Startup pressures.
T-minus 15 seconds.
Falcon 9 is configured for flight.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Like the match.
Lift off.
We got a lift off. Now let's go outside and see what we see. Oh, and there's some of our WDAN studio audience showed up.
I saw it's crystal clear. It's just parched.
Yeah, it's kind of cloudy there. It was a lot clearer last week.
Sure it was.
See, you can actually see it behind that cloud there. There it is.
Right there. See the glow?
Yeah. So you're not really getting a good look at it.
It's farther up. See it glowing? Farther up. Now it's behind that big cloud.
Yeah, that big cloud there. You can
There-
see,
there's
yep.
one like this
And it
much
just poked out, and the same thing, you won't see it until it
higher. Yeah, there's
comes
a
out from the
over
top of
there.
that big cloud. Oh, there it is there. That's about,
There it is, yeah.
yeah, this one doesn't have the boosters on the side that it's going to drop off, so. And that's it. It just kind of disappeared.
Yeah, it just kind of blinked off there.
Oh, well, you see it just inside that cloud there, and then it's going to disappear behind that, and that's about.
Yeah. Everything's cloudy.
Oh, there it is. You see it a little bit there. And then it's going to disappear behind that cloud there, and you're starting to hear the rumble,
Yep.
which is pretty good. Usually you don't hear it rumbling like that.
No.
And now it disappeared into that cloud, and I doubt if it's going to emerge from that. So we might as well go inside and watch the replay, because show's all over here, kids.
California, always excited. They have their team members, of course, here on the eastern coast of Florida as well. But right now, just looking at a bright star in the sky as another successful launch. What we're awaiting now is that first stage booster, which in just a few minutes should be roughly around 4 minutes or so from now. Should be landing on the first stage booster. So hopefully we will see that here shortly. And the successful secondary mission for SpaceX. You know, talking about that, this is something that people are becoming more and more
Cloudy night.
Almost
Couldn't
as
see
as
much.
to see,
We saw it a little bit, then it went behind the clouds, and it came out and went back. And so it wasn't clear at all. If it was a nice clear night, I think we would have had a nice show, but
second stage right now.
we tried.
As
And the same thing, it's just one center stage. It's going to land on that barge out at sea, so you're not going to see the booster rockets coming back to Cape Canaveral. So that's kind of a kick to watch that. But
that is the largest.
That ain't happening tonight.
Commercial company, and as they had talked about, this is certainly going to test the strength and the capacity of the Falcon 9, with this being the largest payload ever launched. So again, that is something that they were wanting to test. And remember, this is an entirely SpaceX mission, with it being the Falcon 9 and also being those satellites part of the Starlink network, which will, once in place, begin that coverage for internet across the world. Now, eventually, actually I should say a little bit sooner than that, we're talking about 1,000 of these being launched a year.
1,000 a year.
12,000 number.
Well,
So it's gonna be,
30,000 pounds altogether. They're doing 60 at a clip.
We're
So
waiting for the webcast to offer
1,000 launches a year. That's what, 3 a day.
Of course, the landing legs will be deployed,
Yeah.
and they'll be
That one day I heard on one of the
And it's going to take them 2 years because there's 12,000 of these things they're going to put up there.
guy was
So
saying, we're almost to the point where we could launch one a day.
last week, bring it back here
That's what he
to
was saying.
Canaveral, as well as the recovery ships, which will be recovering the fairings. We'll wait to hear.
Oh, remember Chris who was
if that
visiting?
happens as well.
That
And
swimmer?
It looks like we're starting
Oh,
to get the
it looks like that's getting ready to land in
first
the
stage
barge.
booster
Oh,
ring back.
yeah.
I'm gonna let commentary take over from SpaceX so we can listen just a little bit in as we start getting those images right now, those thrusters firing as it comes back to Earth.
Well, that's cool.
Entry burn.
you should see that barge, that ship coming right up on it soon, and boop.
Yep, just quick.
And stage 1, entry burn shutdown.
Shut
And that's
down. Is it
That's the
going?
end of the entry burn. The next step for that first stage is going to be the landing burn.
Just
You
another
can see
hope.
some aerodynamic flows
Jump.
past those grid fins right now on the first stage as it gets into the thicker and thicker regions of the atmosphere. Those grid fins help stabilize the first stage as it heads back down towards the deck of Course I Still Love You.
Of course, I still love you, the ship.
Stage 1 is transonic. Also signal stage 1, Cape Canaveral as expected.
And actually, it's an hour after launch before it launches all them satellites.
Next
So
thing happening here is going to be the landing burn at T plus 8 minutes and 9 seconds, just about 30 seconds from now.
then you see it land on that barge. See if it falls over like the last one did.
Liftoff at
Yeah, the way
10:30 p.m.
the
Eastern
winds
time
are
from
off
Cape
the
Canaveral.
ground.
And it landed, and they started bringing it back in, and it fell over.
I think it's
Third landing
a
attempt
little
in its history.
topsy-turvy out there.
Stage 1 landing burn has started. The landing burn has started as scheduled. We don't currently have video from that first stage, but stand by. We may be able to get something from the drone ship. Landing burn started at 8 minutes and 9 seconds, and the landing is scheduled for 8 minutes and 30 seconds, just about now. You can tell here at SpaceX headquarters we haven't yet gotten any video from the drone ship, but we're just waiting for confirmation.
And as recovery, Falcon 9 has landed, and landing operators may proceed to limit at 100 on recovery 1 and ECF 9.
While we're waiting for that, we are expecting SECO to happen shortly. That is second engine cutoff. Okay.
Back shutdown.
That's cool.
It sounds like we may have confirmation that the first stage has landed.
Yeah, it landed. There it is on the barge.
Shot, of Course I Still Love You, of the first stage of the Falcon 9 rocket for its third landing.
Now this time they better go and strap it down with some guy
Get
wires.
some
or
guys out
something.
there right away, man.
Go over to Harbor Freight and you get the ones there to ratchet down. And
from the Of Course I Still Love You drone ship and the first stage.
Well, that's WDAN Space News. A little cloudy tonight, but it wasn't too bad. WDAN Space News. Sign it off.
And now just awaiting the deployment.